All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle the final boss of your degree, the dissertation. It can feel like this huge, scary thing, right? Well, think of this as your starter pack. Everything you need to know to break this massive project down before you even type a single word.
First things first, let's get a little reality check from students who've already been through it. The dissertation has this legendary, fearsome reputation, but you know what? It's totally doable. It's not a terrifying sprint to the finish line, it's more like the ultimate marathon of your degree. And it's your chance to really, truly dive deep into something you care about. With the right game plan, you've absolutely got this.
So, here's how we're going to break it all down for you. We've got 5 key steps. First, nailing your research question. Second, building that academic foundation. Third, forging a master plan. Fourth, making the most of your supervisor. And finally, dodging all those common pitfalls. Let's dive in.
Okay, first step, your research question. Everything, and I mean everything, starts here. The number one mistake people make is starting with a topic that's just way, way too broad. So let's talk about how you can take a vague idea and really sharpen it into a focused mission. Check this out. It's a really simple but super powerful 3-step process. You start broad with just some keywords you're interested in, say something like sustainable architecture. Then you start breaking that down. What about it? Are you into green roofs, passive cooling? You keep drilling down until you find the specific little niche that really gets you excited.
And that brings you to the final step, creating a mission statement. Now look at this example. See how it's not a question, it's a straight-up declaration of what you're going to do. It's specific, it's comparative, and most importantly, it's manageable. This statement is going to be your North Star. Anytime you feel lost, you come back to this to get right back on track.
All right, so you've got your mission. Now what? Well, it's time for step 2, building your academic foundation. You see, you're not just researching in a vacuum. You're actually stepping into this massive, ongoing conversation that scholars have been having for years. This part is all about understanding that landscape.
Now, it's really crucial to get your head around these two ideas. They sound similar, but they do different jobs. The theoretical framework, that's your big picture lens, the established theory that's guiding your whole project. But the conceptual framework is your own specific map. It shows the exact things you're studying and how they relate. Basically, one's the why and the other's the what and how. And that brings us to the heart of your foundation, the literature review. Now, its purpose isn't just to prove you did the reading, okay? A lit review is a critical evaluation. You're on a mission to find the so what, to find those gaps in what's already known, gaps that your research is going to fill. So many students trip up on this, so let's get crystal clear on what it is and what it isn't.
Okay, so this is huge. Your literature review is not just a shopping list of summaries. It's a synthesis. You're weaving different ideas together, you're critiquing them, and you're building a new argument. You're not just a reporter here, you are an active participant in a critical conversation with all the scholars who came before you. Okay, on to section 3, forging your master plan. You know, trying to wing your dissertation is pretty much a one-way ticket to a full-on late-night caffeine-fueled panic. So a solid, realistic plan is your best friend. It's your defense against stress and procrastination. And look, you don't have to take my word for it. This piece of advice from a student forum is pure gold. They mention a Gantt chart, which is just a fancy name for a project timeline, but the key part is stick to it. Having a plan that you actually follow is the real secret to making this whole process way, way less stressful. And here's what that looks like in practice. You just break the whole enormous project down into smaller, bite-sized tasks. You give each one a realistic amount of time, and you set a hard deadline for it. Suddenly, this massive, scary mountain becomes a series of small, totally achievable hills to climb. All right, section 4, this one's a biggie. We're talking about working with your supervisor. This person is probably your single most important resource, but here's the catch. The relationship is a two-way street, and honestly, you're the one who really has to drive it. And if you're wondering why this is so important, well, check this out. Some research suggests that up to a third of students aren't actually happy with their supervision. Think about that. That's a huge number, and it just shows how vital it is to know how to make this partnership really work for you. So, what's their job exactly? Well, their role is to be your guide, right? They're not there to hand you the answers. They're there to offer advice on your structure, on your arguments, on where to find stuff. The big takeaway here? Go to your meetings prepared. Don't just show up and say, I'm stuck. come with specific questions and a clear idea of what you need help with.
And that brings us to our final section, how to dodge those common dissertation pitfalls. Let's wrap up with some essential, battle-tested tips from people who've survived the process, all designed to help you keep moving forward.
Okay, this might be the single most practical tip in this whole explainer. Seriously, keep organized records from day one. I'm talking about a simple spreadsheet for every single book or article you read. Put in the reference, a few notes on what it argues, and how you think you can use it. Trust me on this one. Future you will thank you for it.
So let's wrap it all up with a final checklist for success. Little things like reading other dissertations from your department can make a huge difference. And please, please choose a topic you actually find interesting. You're going to be spending a lot of time with it. That curiosity, that's going to be your fuel when things get tough.
So, when you put all this together, you realize something. You're not just writing a really long essay to get a grade. This is your chance to become a genuine expert in something, to make your own original contribution to the field. You're about to go on a journey of discovery that is all yours. So the real question is, what are you going to discover?